All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a round of late in the day questions and answers. And what's today's topic? Let's talk about the Harbor Freight sanding drums that you can buy. And you can buy them out there in a kit. You get them like this right here, like I'm showing you. And people had difficulty out at the club, thought they were junk, and they weren't that good. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I mean, I thought that they were great. Now, you can also buy ones online on Amazon. Let me show you real quick here. And I'll leave you the links below. The thing is out at the club, they were criticizing this because they said, look, and I did this on purpose. So look, this little round thing that's supposed to hold the sandpaper in there, you either can't get it out, or look, it just slides in there like that. I mean, it's just not that good of a product. I go, well, you're using it wrong. Let me explain to you why. First of all, let's assume you bought these and it's nice and tight in there. And you're wondering, how do I get that out? Well, you use a screwdriver and that little round piece of metal that I just put back in there, and you'll see it here on the top. Just take a screwdriver and push on the edge of it, and what it's going to do is it begins to pop it out. And you take it out, and that frees this piece of sandpaper. Now, the problem that they were doing on this was they made the length of this too short. They said, well, it's 10 inches. Well, if it's 10 inches, what it's doing, it's barely going into that cut right here in it. Now, when you slide this dowel in there, it's going to slide freely. So what you want is you actually want this a little bit longer. Now, this one's 10 inches and it won't hold this, or it barely holds it. So what you want to do is you want to get it close to about 10 and a half. So when you get it close to 10 and a half, I write it on the bottom. Okay, that way I don't have to worry about remembering. Then you can cut up several sheets or more of this, keep it over near this, and you will always have one ready as a backup. You can use scissors, tear it by hand, whatever you want to do until you got that fit. Now, once this thing's fitted in there correctly, I'll get it back in there. Now, once it's fitted back in there correctly, and the edges of the sandpaper are actually down visible in that hole, then when you take this and you put it in there, because it's got the width of the sandpaper on both sides or one side, this is going to be a little bit harder to slip back in there, and you can tap on it with a hammer. And once you do, it's going to lock that sandpaper in place. You're not going to have a problem then. But once you know, like on this big one, I know it's 10 and a half, and I know that it's 3 inches wide. Okay, and I write it on the bottom, that way, you know, if months and months go by and you haven't used it and you go pick it up, you can look and go, oh yeah, I know what that was. Now, if you don't want to use scissors while you're out at Harbor Freight, they sell hacksaw blades. Let me show you. Okay, so for $2, less 20%, whatever you want to do there, you get a couple of cheap hacksaw blades. One you can use to abuse the heck out of. The other, if you put it on some kind of a board like this, and where those little holes are on the end, you just put some screws or whatever to hold it. It doesn't have to go all the way down real tight, but you get it fairly snug. You can slip that sandpaper under the edge that has no teeth, and you can just go like this, and you're going to rip a perfect width all the time. Flip it around, bring it through the other way, and go and there you go, you got the perfect length. Then what I do is I keep like 4 or 5 of each grit, and then if I need to, I can quickly change these out. But where the biggest error came in, that little, you know, hack and trick aside for a minute, you don't have to do that. You could use scissors if you want, and or you could use a straight edge, you know, like any square, speed square, anything like that. You don't have to make one of these things. I mean, sometimes I don't even know where the one is that I did make, so I just use a straight edge and just rip them real quick. Okay, but back to these. I mean, these work great. They work good on steel, providing you got a decent quality sandpaper. I mean, if you buy this really cheap garnet paper and then it chews it up quick, you're not criticizing the tool. I mean, you're making an error. You're criticizing the sandpaper. It's just junk sandpaper. I get mine online from Amazon. I'll leave you a couple of links below. Yeah, I am an affiliate with Amazon, of course. I buy a lot of stuff at Amazon because of the convenience of it just arriving. But I also buy a lot of sandpaper from Klingspor, who I'm not an affiliate with, and I'll leave you their web address right here, and they run good deals on sandpaper. So, I mean, again, it's not the tool. Now, the other thing that they did out at the club, which I thought was kind of weird, is he was struggling with this. So this tube right here was actually almost an oval. And I said, well, that's part of your problem too. So I took a ball peen hammer and I tapped on it up and down all until I got it almost nice and round again. And then with the sandpaper at the correct length, where it comes down into that slit, when you wedge it to the side or however you want to do this, it doesn't matter if both sheets are wedged to the side or if you're going down the middle, and you put it back in there, like I told you, it's going to be stiff and it's going to hold this real tight. This is a nice handy tool to have around, okay? Whether you get it from Harbor Freight or you get it online, I would encourage you to think about it, because there are times where I really find this very useful, okay? So that's some quick tips on the use of this. And like I said, it's not, I don't believe anyway when people say, oh, it's a junk tool, because of these reasons. Some of the reasons aren't the tool. The other part of it is you're misusing it. Okay, so maybe what it takes is just a short explanation video like this to let you know what you're doing wrong, and then you're going to be really happy with the tool, I hope. If you know of something better out there, put it in the comment below. Otherwise, give me a thumbs up. I hope you click subscribe. If you like these videos, let me know. I'll keep doing them. And I just tell you what I run across and how I modify or fix things, or what I do. So I hope you folks are having a great day, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.